Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And I had to do a little video here, a little follow up to the James Storm vid. It's hilarious to me that after years here on YouTube of battling TNA marks, I'm finally the champion. That's why I've proclaimed myself the champion of YWC. Not for that reason alone, but the thing is, I'm always right about everything. Did I not say that TNA was gonna die? Now they ain't got anybody left. All their former champions in WWE. And they're probably going to merge with Global Force Wrestling. Jeff Jarrett's latest debacle, his latest disaster in the form of a wrestling promotion. It's kind of hilarious that this is like 13 years ago. He made the same mistake by opening NWA TNA. And I remember the faithful day, the faithful night when I ordered the $9.99 pay-per-view, and it wasn't really that bad, but God, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was like, oh, let's check out all these indie wrestlers. And before you knew it, it turned into a TV show, and it turned into a big fucking pile of shit. And a bunch of poor former WWE and WCW wrestlers got all caught up in this shit, thinking that it was going to be the opponent of WWE, and it turned out to be anything but. Booker T, Scott Steiner, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, great wrestlers, big names coming to TNA hoping to make a name for themselves, and then just getting all shit on, basically, looking like a bunch of fucking goofballs, looking like just irrelevant fucking idiots, basically. You come to TNA to become completely irrelevant. Most of them are not even allowed to keep their own name. They can't use the music that put them on the map because it all belongs to WWE. Nobody wants to admit it at the end of the day, but even though the product isn't great with WWE, there are certain things that make WWE great, and that's the fact that, well, they're the only promotion that matters. I look back in my mind and, I can't remember any TNA matches that were really great or memorable. I could remember, a couple, here and there. I could remember one or two good matches. One sticks out in my mind: Samoa Joe, Daniels, and AJ Styles in the triple threat match. I remember Aries and Jeff Hardy in the ladder match, here and there. Now, when you think of WWE and you think back on WWE history, not only do you remember the match, but you remember specific spots. You remember what pay-per-view it was on because it was memorable. Even like me, I'll remember the exact year it even happened. Why? Because when you experience something so great and memorable, it's engraved in your mind. Now, you could have good matches. TNA, I'm not going to lie, has had many great matches, but they weren't memorable. I've noticed this. You can have like a 4-star match, but that doesn't mean it's memorable. There's many other factors that play a role in a wrestling match being memorable. And sometimes it just goes by your mind, what your mind is willing to remember and keep in your subconscious. And, TNA, it doesn't have that WWE magic. It doesn't have that majesty, the fucking majesty that WWE has. I mean, like, you get in the ring and you feel like you're watching royalty half the time. You feel like you're watching, superheroes in there, like Marvel versus DC. In TNA, you feel like you're just watching some average schmoes battling out in the ring. You get what I'm saying? It's like they don't look like superstars. There's a reason why WWE calls their talent superstars over wrestlers, because they make sure that these guys matter. They make sure they're relevant, not as much as they used to, but still more than TNA. And how bad does that make TNA look that WWE is like at their worst right now? You know, they've been for a couple of years at their worst. But still, they're still 10 times better than TNA. Still 10 times better than TNA. Even on their worst fucking day, they were better than TNA. There were moments here on YouTube where I was angry at the WWE, kind of like, someone who's angry at their spouse or their girlfriend, and they're quarreling, or I can't even pronounce that word, but, they're fighting with their spouse. And, you want to like just do something negative to hurt them. So I praised TNA for a time, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed those shows. Probably, I think that I praised. I don't know if I really did, or it was just simply my anger towards WWE. And that's probably why I remember like praising TNA for showing strippers with aces and eights, when really that's not anything great. But I was just craving some mature material from WWE. So when TNA delivered it in shitty fashion, I praised it because it was something that WWE wasn't giving me that I wanted. So as you can see, it was kind of like a half-hearted praise. So, I'm not backpedaling. I know a lot of people are going to say that I'm backpedaling. I did praise TNA in the past, and I'm not denying that. I'm not fucking denying that I didn't, praise TNA. I did praise it. I fucking praised it. I'm going to fucking admit it. But the thing is, it's like I only praised it because it wasn't, WWE wasn't delivering what I needed, what I required as a professional wrestling fan. So, you had all these TNA talents wasting their fucking time, and now most of them have found their way back to WWE. So the thing is, you were there, you were on your high horse when WWE was, losing all their talent to TNA, but basically they never lost their talent. Basically, all they did was release these guys, and they ended up in TNA. It wasn't like WCW where the guys made the decision. No, they got released and then they went to WWE. I mean, some of them might have asked for their release, but at the end of the day, they all found their way back there anyway. So I just thought it was pretty funny. I thought I should share that. The TNA fans thought they were all high and mighty. They thought that they were better than WWE fans because they got a couple of WWE wrestlers in there, but no, motherfuckers. We got James Storm, got Samoa Joe, we got Bully Ray. We're gonna have Jeff Hardy probably next year. You can't beat us. You might as well just fucking join us. But you know what? You're too much of jobbers anyway. So stay over there and go down with the capsizing ship that is TNA, motherfuckers. 'Cause it's dead. It's dead.